Nisa Nashim is the only Muslim Jewish women's network in the whole of Europe, so that makes it very special.
Nisa Nashim creates opportunities for women from two communities that seem very different but have a lot in common to get together, and it's that simple.
We need Nisa Nashim because there are huge tensions and divisions between the Muslim and Jewish communities, and we need it because we need to start to break those down.
Definitely want to be able to see families and communities coming together and being able to, in a very candid and authentic and meaningful way, feel the relationship being built within the community. I think that feeling is much more important than anything else that we do within it.
For us, we're meeting locally, which just gives us the opportunity to have a sense that we're relating to each other from the comfort of our own home.
And I think that women can work together in order to bring peace, because if you can create peace in your own life, in your own family life, in your own circles, your neighbours, your friends, you can then pass that little bit of peace on to so many people.
In Nisa Nashim we have regional groups which are in Glasgow, Bournemouth, Birmingham, all over London and the North East. We also have specifically focus groups, book clubs, police officers groups, lawyers groups, teachers groups, counsellors groups, even groups with calligraphers and psychotherapists. Each group is made up of women rooted in their community.
Women have a very specific and helpful perspective on so many of the challenges in society, and including the relationship between the Jews and the Muslims.
I do feel that the conversations that are taking place, whenever we do see that panel being laid out and invitations going out, I really see a woman on it.
Nisa Nashim has equipped me with a skill set and a confidence that allows me to interact with people of other faiths, knowing that I can do it well. And that is such a gift, to be able to have people in my home and enjoy them and not have it feel awkward or unfamiliar. And those skills come from my time at Nisa Nashim.
We've been for coffees, we've been for meals.
So it's very significant for me to have an impetus, a context in which I remember to share with Shazia the restaurants and cafes that I've enjoyed my whole life.
Every year we hold an annual conference, a Nisa Nashim conference, and every year we have an annual co-chairs retreat where we bring all our co-chairs together.
This was nice because it was on a more national level and we met so many people from different places, and it was nice to be able to interact with people and other people saying this is what we do in our Nisa Nashim group, and get ideas from each other as to how we want to move our group forward.
As well as meeting people from the other faith, it's also we meet, like Shazia, you've made new Muslim friends, I've made new Jewish friends, and that's also very special because we're meeting people from across the country.
One of the powerful things about Nisa Nashim, which actually we weren't expecting, is how it's strengthened our own faith identities. So if I invite people who are Muslim to my house to celebrate Passover, I actually end up thinking about why I'm doing it and what it means to me, and sharing other Jewish traditions. In the same way, if I go to an iftar with Amarine, the Muslim women will be thinking about, well, what does this mean to me, and why do I do it, and what foods do I serve?
My mother is also a member of Nisa Nashim, and we attended a synagogue for a memorial service, and it was so amazing to see when we were looking through the prayer book, and my mum was kind of nudging me saying, but all these prayers are exactly the same, in the same words that we would say, and that was such a nice experience because it showed how similar we are, and it showed that we're praying the same way to the same God.
The elephant in the room is the Israel-Palestine conflict that plays out in our country, that really needs to be addressed. And it is a very sensitive area that we have to tread very carefully.
Somehow we've got to find a way for people here in Britain to be able to talk about it, and that's really something that we are committed to trying to do.
When we're living our lives and not always with each other, it's important that, I say to the children, well, it's Friday night, that's why you see the Jewish people walking around, because it's a Sabbath, and it's important for them to understand that, that we live in a community where, there are people of all sorts of different beliefs, and it's nice to be able to join in with those things.
Nisa Nashim provides a brave space for doing something that you might not otherwise do.
And it is a very unique space and a very special space, and once people come into it, they understand that.